God says, stop right there, do not rush away, do not allow your heart to wander, for what you are about to receive is not just another set of words but a living stream of power flowing from heaven into your soul. Stop right there, my child, because the moment your spirit feels the pull to ignore this, that very instant you risk losing a connection you cannot afford to lose. This is not written lightly, it is not a mere thought or imagination, but an urgent heavenly decree, and every line carries the weight of eternity. God says, stop right there, you will lose your connection with the Archangel if you attempt to skip, you will lose your connection with heaven if you dismiss this, and that loss is too dangerous, too costly, too irreversible to play with. My child, the heavens tremble at your hesitation, the angels pause when you choose whether to continue, because they know what is hidden inside this stream of revelation has the potential to shift your entire destiny. God says, I am speaking to you directly, and every syllable has been chosen with divine precision. This is no joke, this is not exaggeration, this is not dramatization, this is eternal truth wrapped in urgent clothing. The Archangel who has been assigned to your life, who has been battling for you day and night, who has covered you when shadows tried to suffocate you, who cried over your delays and pleaded with heaven for your mercy, is standing right now beside you, whispering with fire in his breath, do not turn away, do not close your eyes, do not scroll past, do not abandon this, for if you do, the cord between you and heaven will weaken to the point of breaking. Stop right there, my child, listen with the inner ear of your spirit, because this is the moment where heaven is placing a condition before you, obedience or loss. If you obey, light will flood your path, doors will swing open, blessings will run after you with unstoppable force, and angels will surround you with an army of protection so powerful that even your enemies will tremble at the sight of you. If you disobey, if you skip, if you treat this as common, you will cut yourself off from the very oxygen of your destiny, and you will wonder why doors close, why silence fills the heavens, why the Archangel no longer answers when you cry. This is why God says, stop right there. This is why the tone is sharp, urgent, commanding, because the stakes are higher than you imagine. My child, I saw you last night when your soul cried silently, when your thoughts questioned whether I truly hear, whether the archangels truly exist, whether protection is real. I saw you when you wondered why attacks keep coming, why people betray, why confusion tries to blind you, and I leaned down from my throne and I said to the archangel assigned to you, hold them one more time, protect them one more time, for I am about to send a message so clear they cannot miss it. This is that message. This is heaven's intervention. This is not by chance, this is not coincidence, this is design. The Archangel has been battling powers you cannot see. There have been attempts against you that you were never aware of, plans that were written against your name in secret, whispers spoken in hidden places where men and women thought no one could hear them, yet heaven recorded every word. Contracts of destruction were drawn up with your name on them, signed with malice, sealed with darkness, but they were intercepted by the Archangel who refused to let them touch you. He has carried those burning papers in his hand, torn them apart in front of the throne of God, and cried out, "Not this child, not this one, not the one marked with destiny." And heaven agreed. Yet, my child, the Archangel grows weary when you treat lightly the moments when heaven speaks. He grows weary when his warnings are skipped, when his cries are ignored, because his love for you is fierce. But even angels obey divine order, and when God says connection will be broken if disobedience continues, even the Archangel cannot override it. God says, "You think you have time, you think you can delay, but time is not in your hands." Heaven counts differently than earth, and every hesitation becomes a door for the enemy to slip in. Stop right there, listen, breathe these words in as if they were the last air you could draw, because the weight of eternity presses on this moment. I am God, and I am saying to you, you cannot afford to lose heaven's connection. You cannot afford to lose the Archangel who has been your shield. You cannot afford to treat as casual what is sacred. This is no joke. My child, let me show you what you cannot see. Even now, as you read, there are forces that have been waiting, lurking, hoping that you would dismiss this. They wait for you to step outside the covering, because the moment you step outside, the attack can land without resistance. They are like predators who cannot strike while the fire surrounds you, but who circle relentlessly, hoping for a weak spot. The Archangel is the wall of flame, the sword that burns with divine fire, the shield that reflects every arrow, but that shield is only permitted to remain as long as you remain aligned. If you disconnect, heaven commands the Archangel to step back, not because he wants to, but because order requires it. Do not force him to leave. Do not break his heart. Do not silence his voice. God says, stop right there, because if you continue, you will understand the depth of your calling. You were not born without purpose. You were not sent to earth to wander aimlessly. You were carved in heaven, your soul was breathed out of eternity, your destiny written in scrolls guarded by angels. The enemy knew it the moment you took your first breath, and that is why you have faced storms others could not survive. That is why betrayals cut you deeper, why loneliness haunted you longer, why setbacks followed you more fiercely, because the mark on you is not ordinary. The enemy knew that if you ever awakened to who you really are, if you ever heard clearly the voice of heaven, you would be unstoppable. That is why he has fought you. That is why distractions rise whenever heaven speaks. That is why doubts whisper whenever the Archangel draws near. But today, God says enough. Today, God says stop right there and listen, because heaven is tired of your confusion, heaven is tired of your delays, heaven is ready to crown you with the clarity and authority you were born for. The Archangel Michael himself has walked into your atmosphere right now as you receive this. His wings stretch wide, his sword burns with a light that no darkness can look at without fleeing, and his voice is thundering, "Do not dismiss this. Do not walk away. Do not silence heaven by your inattention. He has pleaded with heaven to keep you, and heaven has granted him one more chance to reach you. But God says, if you skip, if you ignore, if you laugh it off, the chance will be gone, the connection cut, the heavenly line severed, and you will feel the emptiness of silence where once you felt protection. This is no joke. My child, I am writing to you now not just to warn you but to awaken you. I want you to see how loved you are, how desperately heaven has been fighting for you. You think you are forgotten, but angels talk about you in their meetings. You think you are overlooked, but your name is spoken in the courts of heaven more often than you imagine. You think you are small, but entire regions shift because of your destiny. That is why this warning is loud, sharp, urgent. It is not to frighten you, but to protect you from yourself, from your doubt, from your distraction, from your tendency to run when you should stay. God says, I am not playing games with your life. The time of pretending is over. The time of delay is over. The time of ignoring heaven is over. Stop right there. Your obedience in this moment is the seal on your future. Your decision to continue is the door to your abundance. Your surrender to listen fully is the chain breaker for generations in your family. If you ignore, you not only lose for yourself but you block the flow for those tied to your destiny. Do you understand the weight of this? Entire generations hang in the balance of your obedience. My child, I will not stop speaking until your spirit feels the fire. The Archangel will not leave until you understand. Heaven will not withdraw this word until you have received it. But once the chance is gone, it is gone. This is why God says stop right there. This is why heaven interrupts you today. This is why every distraction is rising against you right now, because the enemy knows what happens if you truly read this to the end. You will awaken. You will rise. You will break the chains. You will inherit what has been waiting. You will shine with a glory the enemy has tried to bury. And once that happens, no demon, no darkness, no human plan can ever stop you again. So stop right there, listen, breathe, continue. Heaven is watching. The Archangel is waiting. God is speaking. This is no joke. God says, my child, there are things unfolding right now in both the seen and the unseen that you cannot afford to overlook. The reason Archangel Michael is crying so loudly is not only because you have skipped him before, but because the window of time is growing thinner. Heaven does not cry without reason. Angels do not weep without urgency. Their tears are signals in the spirit that something is pressing upon your destiny, something that cannot be postponed another day. You have been given this moment because your life, your path, and your blessings are all tied to this unveiling. This confession, though painful, though heavy, is the very key that will unchain your life from delays that have bound you for years. My child, listen carefully, because as I speak, I am drawing back the veil. The one who confessed about you did not do it out of remorse. Do not be deceived into thinking that guilt broke them open. No, they confessed because pressure was applied, because truth has a way of surfacing when my hand is at work. They confessed not realizing that their words were being transported beyond the ears of the person they trusted. They confessed not knowing that Michael was present in that very atmosphere, recording every syllable, ready to bring it to you at the appointed time. And that appointed time is now. There is no accident in the way you are reading this message. You could have chosen to stop, you could have closed this and turned your attention elsewhere. But something in your spirit told you not to. That was me, stirring your heart, making sure you would not miss this moment again. Because the truth is, my child, if you were to ignore this once more, the weight of what is coming would have crushed you without your knowledge. That is why Michael is crying so loudly, because he has seen the trap laid, the plans made, the whispers exchanged in the dark, and he knows how close you are to stepping into what was meant to destroy you. Do you remember the times when you asked me why certain people changed their tone toward you, why conversations suddenly became cold, why opportunities that seemed secure slipped away at the last moment? That was the ripple effect of the confession. They spoke about you in such a way that others began to doubt your name, your character, your intentions. They tried to paint you in colors that were not yours, to design a false image of who you are, so that others would distance themselves. And you, not knowing what was said, blamed yourself, wondered what you did wrong, questioned your worth. My child, I wept with you then, but I also prepared this moment so you could see that none of it was your fault. You were caught in the web of someone else's deception. The enemy wanted you blind. He wanted you to stay bound by confusion, by unanswered questions, by pain that never seemed to make sense. But I am the God of exposure, and what is hidden cannot remain hidden when I decree it is time for truth to rise. This is why you will never be the same after this. Because once you see what was confessed, once you know the weight of their words, you will stand differently, you will speak differently, you will move differently. My child, do not let fear take hold of your heart when you imagine what might have been said. Yes, the confession carries pain, yes, it will sting like salt on a wound, but it will also heal. For truth, though sharp at first, is the only thing that can close the door on lies. The confession is not to break you, but to break the power of those who stood against you. It is the evidence you needed in heaven's court, the testimony that shifts judgment in your favor. And Michael, though crying, is also rejoicing, because he knows what this means for your future. He knows that the moment you accept, the moment you open, you step into a realm of freedom that cannot be reversed. My child, I see your heart trembling even now as you wonder who it is, what exactly was said, and how you will handle it. Do not be afraid. I have already walked ahead of you into that place. I have already softened the ground so that when the truth lands, it does not shatter you, but roots you deeper in me. I am preparing your spirit so that you will not collapse under the weight of this knowledge, but rise above it with strength you did not know you had. You see, the person who confessed believed they were untouchable. They thought their words would carry on unseen, that they could speak against you and still smile in your face as though nothing was wrong. But my eyes saw. My ears heard. My hand moved. And their confession, though whispered, though spoken in secrecy, has been magnified in heaven until the sound of it shakes the gates of earth. Michael has watched them carefully. He has stood guard over you in moments you thought you were alone. He has stood at the edge of your bed when you slept, shielding your dreams from torment. He has walked behind you when you traveled, blocking unseen forces that wanted to rise against you. And now, my child, he stands weeping, pleading that you take him seriously. For every time you skipped him, he still protected you. For every time you turned away from his message, he still fought battles for you. But the burden of holding this confession without your awareness has become too heavy for him, and so his tears are a cry to you, a cry that says, "Please, do not ignore this one. Please, do not walk past this truth again. You will never be the same after this, my child, because truth changes everything. Truth realigns destinies. Truth exposes enemies and elevates those who were once overlooked. The confession will reveal not only their heart toward you, but also the hidden workings behind your delays, your struggles, and your unanswered prayers. And once you know, once you finally open to Michael's message, you will understand why things happened as they did. You will see the threads of deception, and with my power, you will cut them loose forever. And hear me well, after this, you will walk into a season where no one can use lies against you again. Their confession has already backfired. What they intended as destruction has become the very thing I will use to elevate you. Their words will testify against them, and your name will be cleared, restored, and lifted. For I am not a God who allows falsehood to triumph forever. I am the God who vindicates, who restores, who makes all things new. This is why Michael's voice has broken into tears. He loves you with a heavenly loyalty you cannot comprehend. His assignment over your life is sacred, and he has fought for you more than you will ever know. But even angels cannot force humans to listen. You must choose. You must open. You must say yes to hearing what heaven is crying to reveal. My child, this moment is written into eternity. It is the turning point of your story. You cannot skip it, for if you do, the cycle of pain will only repeat, and the chains will only tighten. But if you open now, if you listen, if you let Michael place the scroll in your hands, everything will change. The weight will lift. The lies will crumble. The truth will shine. And you will never be the same. God says, "My beloved child, there is a trembling in the heavens tonight because the truth is standing at the edge of your life, waiting for you to open your heart fully and accept what Michael has been crying to deliver." The angels who stand in the courts of heaven have seen the tears of Michael, and they are astonished that a warrior as strong as he could be moved to such sorrow. Yet it is not weakness, it is the depth of his love for you. He has carried your name across battlefields in the unseen, he has stood guard against arrows sent to pierce you, and he has watched with anguish as you skipped his presence again and again. My child, I do not tell you this to shame you, but to show you the urgency, to show you how important this moment is. Because the confession spoken about you is not a small one. It is the kind of confession that alters the very foundation of how people see you, the kind that shifts atmospheres, the kind that, if left buried, would corrupt your destiny. This person, the one whose mouth poured out the hidden truth, has been close to you, closer than you ever expected. They smiled with you, they pretended to honor you, but when the hour came where their heart could not hold its poison any longer, they confessed to another what they had always whispered in the dark about you. They did not know that their confession was carried by the wind of heaven into Michael's hearing. They did not know that the very walls that surrounded them could not keep their words hidden from me. They thought they were safe because no human ear could catch them, but they forgot that every word rises before my throne. My child, Michael's tears are falling because he knows the power of words. He knows that a confession can plant seeds in the unseen, seeds that grow into vines that choke opportunities, block favor, and bring delay. He knows that what was said about you has already been working like a shadow against your life. He knows that your nights of confusion, your moments of sudden despair, your feelings that doors were unfairly closing, these were not just coincidences. They were the fruits of this hidden confession. And now that it has come to light, he longs for you to open and receive the truth, so that those vines can be cut, so that the shadow can be destroyed, so that you can rise free into the light I created you for. My child, you have always wondered why certain people pulled back from you without explanation. You wondered why trust seemed fragile, why relationships shifted suddenly without cause. You thought perhaps it was you, perhaps something was wrong in you, but I tell you now, it was their words. They spoke in a way that poisoned others' hearts against you, carefully dropping pieces of their confession until suspicion grew around your name. But heaven has recorded every single syllable. Nothing was lost, nothing was ignored. Michael holds the full record in his hands, weeping not because you are defeated, but because he longs for you to see what heaven has already exposed. This is not a joke, my child. I do not speak lightly. When I say you will never be the same after hearing this confession, I mean that your eyes will open in a way they never have before. You will understand why certain blessings were delayed, why certain people suddenly shifted away from you, why certain struggles lingered though you prayed with all your heart. It was not because I ignored you. It was because someone's hidden confession was weighing against you in the unseen. But now that the time has come for truth to shine, you will see every knot untied. My child, listen closely, for this moment has been divinely appointed for you, and nothing that is reaching you right now is by accident. God says, stop right there, do not rush past these words, because they are being carried directly from the heavens to the depths of your soul. You are being warned, you are being loved, and you are being protected all at once. The divine voice says, you will lose your connection with the Archangel and also your connection with heaven if you skip this. This is no joke. Do you hear the seriousness of these words? They are not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you, because the distractions of this world have been heavy upon you, and you are standing at the edge of a spiritual threshold. Right now, heaven is holding open a door, but it is only for those who pause, listen, and open their hearts fully to receive what God is pouring forth. You may feel that you have been surrounded by shadows of doubt, people who have spoken against you, situations that have tried to pull you into despair, and moments where your faith felt thin and weak. But God is saying, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. Though the winds of adversity may roar, though whispers of fear may echo, you are safe. You are being kept under the covering of God's mighty hand. You may not realize it, but every single time you should have fallen, you were lifted. Every time the enemy plotted, heaven canceled it before it reached you. Every tear you cried, heaven counted, and every prayer you thought went unheard was actually gathered by angels and presented before the throne. Archangel Michael stands near you, strong, radiant, and full of divine fire, and yet he trembles with urgency because he sees what you cannot. He knows the traps that have been set in secret places. He knows the schemes designed to weaken your trust. He knows the weight of the burdens pressing against you. And so he shouts with holy authority, do not skip this moment, do not turn away, for your soul's connection with heaven is being tested right now. Can you feel the power of this moment? It is no ordinary time, it is divine timing. The Lord's hand is stretched forth, and He is calling you back into a place of unshakable trust. Child, I know you have been asking questions. You have been wondering why certain people betrayed you, why promises were broken, why doors closed that you thought would remain open. You have carried disappointments deep within your heart, sometimes hiding them from everyone, but never being able to hide them from God. He saw your breaking points. He saw when you wanted to give up. He saw when you said quietly to yourself, maybe I am not meant to see joy. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still standing, still searching, still clinging to a fragment of hope. Do you know why? Because heaven never let you go. There is a reason this message comes wrapped in urgency. It is because you are closer than you realize to a turning point that will change everything. God says, trust me, and pray to me. Do not run away now, do not hide from the calling I have placed within you, because I am about to release a miracle that will silence every voice of doubt around you. What others thought was your ending will soon be revealed as your beginning. What others thought was your downfall will be remembered as the moment heaven lifted you higher. You must understand that heaven does not send warnings without purpose. When God says, "Stop right there," it is because the path ahead without Him is dangerous. There are choices, there are distractions, there are temptations that want to lead you into places that look sweet but turn bitter in the end. Archangel Michael is holding his sword not against you, but for you, cutting away the snares that you cannot see. The heavens are crying out for your attention because this is your chance to break free from cycles that have held you bound. My beloved child, you must not let fear whisper that you are alone. You must not let pain convince you that God has abandoned you. You must not let delay trick you into thinking your prayers are empty. The Lord says, "I was there when you thought you were forgotten. I was there when you lay awake at night asking me for answers. I was there when your strength was gone, and you did not even realize I was the one breathing life back into your body." Every heartbeat you have is proof that heaven is not done with you. This is why the enemy has fought you so hard, because you are destined to carry light into places of darkness, and your presence itself is a threat to evil. Do not underestimate the weight of your calling. There is a divine fire within you, and though life has tried to smother it, it has not gone out. It flickers, yes, but now heaven is breathing on it, causing it to blaze again. God says, "Trust me, lean not on your own understanding, and I will make your path straight." I know it feels sometimes like heaven is silent. But silence is not absence. Silence is strategy. While you thought nothing was happening, the angels were setting things into alignment. While you thought your prayers fell into emptiness, God was answering in ways that required time, movement, and protection. And now, the shift is here. The urgency you feel in your spirit is not random, it is the echo of heaven saying, "This is your hour. Do not turn away. Stay with me." Archangel Michael whispers, "You have no idea how much heaven has invested in you. You cannot give up now. You cannot let go now. You must hold on. The divine light that surrounds you is thicker than the darkness trying to suffocate you. The forces against you are real, but they are already defeated. All that is required is your faith, your trust, your willingness to hold your ground in prayer, and your refusal to let fear take root. God says, "I will be with you. Rest assured. Nothing will go wrong with you. The world may shake, storms may rise, but your foundation is built on the rock of divine strength. Remember this always, your safety does not depend on people, it depends on me. Your breakthrough does not come from the hands of man, it comes from my throne. Your healing is not in the words of doubters, but in the power of my Spirit. So, My child, stop and breathe. Receive this message not with rushing, but with stillness. You are safe, you are loved, and you are covered. Every angel assigned to you has not left your side. Heaven is fighting battles you cannot see. Do not let your heart faint now. This is the time to rise in prayer, to trust God even when it doesn't make sense, to believe that His hand is upon you. The urgent cry of heaven is this: do not disconnect. Do not disconnect from your prayer. Do not disconnect from your faith. Do not disconnect from your calling. Do not disconnect from the angels assigned to you. Stay rooted in God, for your season of restoration is nearer than you think. My child, trust this: the hand of God has never left you, and it never will. You are safe, you are chosen, and your story is not over. Heaven has declared victory over your life, and no power of darkness can undo it. Rest in that assurance. Walk forward in that confidence. And above all, never let go of the one who has always held you. My child, stop right there. Do not allow your spirit to wander away from this moment, because this is an urgent call from heaven to you. God says that if you keep ignoring the signs, if you keep brushing away the whispers in your heart that come from His messengers, you risk losing the divine alignment that has been protecting you. The words you are reading are not ordinary. They are a heavenly message clothed in human letters, but they carry the weight of eternity. This is no joke. This is the kind of message that changes destinies, that pulls back the veil so you can see what is truly happening around you. God says He has been waiting for you to pause, to still your heart, and to listen deeply because your soul has been craving this confirmation. It is just another word. You risk breaking your spiritual connection with the Archangel who has guarded you so faithfully. God does not want you to lose that light, that heavenly protection. He says, "My child, listen and hold on, because I will not let harm come near you if you trust me." You may feel weary, you may feel like the battles you are fighting are too much for your heart to carry, but God says the burden is not yours to hold alone. He has dispatched the Archangel to you, but he requires your trust, your willingness to pray, your decision to lean into him. Many times you wondered if your prayers were heard, and God answers here and now. Every single word you whispered has been heard, and every tear you shed has been seen. Nothing is wasted in the kingdom of heaven. Every trial you have walked through has been recorded, and none of it will be in vain. But heaven says this is a critical moment. The line is being drawn. If you turn away, if you dismiss this, you will step outside the covering that was given to you, and that is why God's word sounds so urgent, so commanding, because He does not want you to walk into the enemy's snare. The Archangel has been instructed to stay with you, but your faith, your prayer, and your obedience are the keys that keep the divine shield around you. The warning is clear: stop right there, pay attention, do not ignore this, for your destiny hinges on your willingness to believe and to respond. God wants to remind you of His promises. He says, "I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will walk with you in the valley, I will stand with you on the mountain, I will sit with you in the silence of the night, and I will cover you when storms rage." The enemy may try to convince you that you are alone, but you are not alone. The Archangel has been fighting unseen battles for your soul, and if you only knew how many times danger was turned away because of heaven's intervention, your heart would tremble in gratitude. You are chosen, and because you are chosen, the attacks have been stronger. But because you are chosen, the protection has been greater. This moment is not by accident. God says, "You are reading this because your spirit was guided to it. I placed this before you so you would see, so you would hear, so you would know that I am speaking." He says you have been asking for a sign, something undeniable, something that makes it clear that heaven has not forgotten you. And this is it. This is your confirmation. God says, "I am here, my child. I am with you. Do not fear. Nothing will go wrong with you, for my hand is upon your life." The Archangel is standing guard, but he is also weeping for the times you doubted yourself, the times you thought you were unworthy of divine love. But God says, "You are worthy because I have called you mine." No mistake, no failure, no broken moment can erase the seal I have placed upon your soul. You need to release the guilt, release the shame, release the lies that have chained you. God says He is cutting those chains even now. You do not need to carry them into the next season. What is ahead of you requires freedom, not bondage. What is ahead of you requires courage, not fear. What is ahead of you requires faith, not hesitation. My child, God wants you to pray with sincerity now. He wants you to open your heart and call upon His name. When you do, you will feel the presence of the Archangel drawing nearer, wrapping you in peace that surpasses understanding. God says, "I am giving you rest from the torment in your mind. I am silencing the voices that tell you lies. I am removing the shadows that tried to confuse you." Trust that. Believe that. Hold on to that with both hands. The reason this message is urgent is because you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough, but also at the edge of a snare. The enemy knows your future is powerful, that your destiny will impact others, that your testimony will bring hope to countless souls. And so he has tried harder, pushed harder, whispered louder, hoping you would give up before the blessing arrives. But God says, "Do not give up. The blessing is closer than you think. The victory is already written. The inheritance is already assigned. The light is already prepared. You only need to trust and not walk away." God says He will carry you through the next few days. He will reveal answers you have been waiting for. He will show you truth that was hidden. He will guide you into places of safety and lead you away from those who secretly wished you harm. You may feel betrayed by people, but God says, do not let that betrayal poison your soul. I am your defender. I am your redeemer. I am the one who will vindicate you. Heaven's message is simple but powerful. You are safe, you are seen, you are chosen, and you are loved. The Archangel will not abandon you unless you abandon your faith. So do not dismiss this. Do not scroll past this. Do not say, maybe later. This is now. This is heaven's call. God is speaking. He is saying, my child, you are mine. I am with you always. Trust me, pray to me, lean on me, and I will never let you fall. This is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of the greatest chapter yet. God is writing your victory, and the ink is permanent. Hold on, trust, and believe. Nothing will go wrong with you, for the Lord your God walks beside you, and the Archangel stands guard over your soul. My child, listen with all your heart, for what is being spoken to you right now carries the weight of eternity. God says, stop right there, do not rush past this moment, for if you do, you risk losing the very connection that heaven has built for you. This is not just another word, not just another whisper in the wind, this is a divine interruption, a heavenly intervention placed directly into your path, so that you cannot say later that you were not warned, so that you cannot claim you did not hear the voice of God calling to you in this exact hour. God says, if you skip this, if you treat this message as ordinary, you will lose your connection with the Archangel, and you will lose your sacred link to heaven's power. This is not a joke, this is not play, this is divine reality pressing on you with urgency. You have been chosen to receive this, you have been pulled out of the countless crowds, lifted above the noise of life, because God saw the struggles you carry, the tears that fall in silence, the fears that gnaw at your soul when no one else is watching. Heaven has seen you, and heaven has decided to act on your behalf. God says, my child, stop right now and breathe. Do not allow distraction to pull you away from what I am about to release into your spirit. For the enemy has tried to fill your days with noise, with confusion, with heaviness, so that you never pause long enough to hear what heaven is saying. But right now, this is your interruption, this is your divine pause, this is the sacred second where eternity collides with your life. The Archangel Michael has been dispatched around you more times than you know, shielding you from dangers you never saw, cutting down traps that were laid for your destruction, pushing back darkness that had surrounded you in the night. And yet you have grown weary, you have wondered if God still sees you, if heaven still fights for you. And here comes the truth, yes, you are still seen, yes, you are still protected, yes, the angel has not abandoned you. But you must not take this lightly. For every connection requires faith, every bond with heaven requires your yes, every protection requires your prayer. Do not skip this, for if you do, the enemy will have room to whisper louder, and your connection to the Archangel will weaken. God says, I am with you. Nothing will go wrong with you if you trust me. I am the one who carried you from birth, the one who has lifted you through storms, the one who has kept you alive even when death circled close. You may not even know how many times you almost lost your life, but heaven knows, and the Archangel knows, for he fought for you. He stood with his sword of light, cutting down shadows that wanted to devour your destiny. And yet, my child, hear me clearly, you must not turn your heart away now, not in this hour, not when the battle over your life is so intense. You must stop right where you are, let your soul tremble, and recognize this is not ordinary. For this message carries the weight of a spiritual turning point. If you dismiss it, if you scroll past it, if you treat it like another word, then you will lose what heaven is offering right now. And what heaven is offering is a deep connection, a holy covering, a shield that no weapon can pierce. God says, my beloved child, I know your fears. I know how heavy life has been on your shoulders. You wake up wondering if anyone truly sees your pain, and you go to bed wondering if tomorrow will ever be different. But here I am, interrupting you with my voice, declaring to you that you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not left behind. Heaven's armies surround you, though your eyes cannot always see them. Michael himself has wept for you, not because you are weak, but because you are precious, because heaven cannot bear to see you suffer in silence any longer. He has been shouting for your attention, urging you to notice the signs, urging you to listen when heaven calls. And now, God says, you must not delay. If you skip this, you risk shutting the very door heaven has opened. Do not fear, for nothing will go wrong with you. I will be with you. I will walk with you into every unknown. I will be your comfort in the lonely nights, I will be your strength in the weary mornings, I will be your provider when lack surrounds you, I will be your healer when pain tries to chain you. But I ask you,